Hi, welcome to the video. I just wanted to briefly touch upon the strange patterns I've noticed over time within the Kenny Veach cave mystery, regarding how certain people have just shown up out of nowhere and even ghost from the past, such as Really Robin. If you'd like me to cover that in a future video, I will do individually, but I feel at this moment in time, we need to wait and see what happens next with the supposed really Robin, okay? So the pattern I've noticed in general, people, strange accounts, whether it's imposter accounts, fake accounts, anonymous accounts, whatever, they always seem to show up either collectively, could be because it's one of many accounts of the same person, or individually, whenever there is an observation or a key finding, or just a strange finding in general regarding the actual M-Cave hike route, the M-Cave mystery. It started off with the keyhole. There was some very strange behaviour then. Then I think there was some strange behaviour when the mine shaft was talked about at a certain point in time. And then even in recent time with the ghostly voices and follow the red tape, following on with cryptic messages and stuff from people. So it all seems to be slanted towards that part of the mystery. Has it really happened regarding Kenny himself? Not exactly. It's, as I said, more to do with the environment. So could you argue it reinforces that there is something dodgy out there? Because whenever it's talked about, or if there's ever a finding, there seems to be a wave of resistance in response to it. And if it's by multiple different people, what does that say? But if it happens multiple times in general, does that reinforce that there is something going on and that you are heading in the right direction? Or linking back to, if it's multiple people, is it just a collective group of prats and idiots that are just time wasters? Look at it from both angles, okay? When it's come to covering the mystery specifically about Kenny Veach outside of the hiking group, whether it be CCTV footage, past findings, old comments, things online, stuff like that externally, does that angle bring resistance? Yes, in a sense. Maybe not cryptic, more confrontational and more of a discouraging theme to throw you off the scent, to push you back in that way. From what Atari said when she did her bit researching and passing on information and showing the odd screenshot maybe of a text message, maybe by Hunter Veach, it was met by resistance from some individual out there. Her receiving certain comments, messages online, which weren't pleasant. Now, when I started covering that sort of stuff too, showing the odd, text message screenshot, maybe of Hunter Veach, it followed shortly with a form of resistance or a form of someone showing up out of nowhere, such as that email I received, which I will eventually get round to, hopefully. So it's like, have we got two different levels of resistance? We've got the soft, playful type of resistance, which is caused by a load of degenerates. And then have you got a higher form, higher level of resistance of people who aren't messing around and are serious in what they say, their aim, their goal, whatever it may be. Could be the case. I'm just trying to balance it all together. I think there's like some screenshots of it by Susan, what she said. Yeah, Susan said at one point, everybody trips up at some time. Ever since I messaged Hunter, the whole atmosphere has changed. You got that first email just a day or two later. I usually talk to Kenny's sister once or twice a week. Nothing, complete silence. I feel like the entire family now knows where he is. So that text reply was kind of like at the time of when I was covering it quite full on with, I guess, certain family and the CCTV footage, and with Susan helping and assisting with passing on information. A time like that, that's when it brought in some kind of attention which wasn't to be expected in a sense, such as the email, the timing of that. As I said, I'll get into that in another video because that is a video in its own right, okay? Just got to try and clear all the bits and bobs beforehand so it don't get all over the place, okay? So yeah, as for the environment, as for the mystery of the cave, you've got your own form of people messing around there or trying to act suspicious, mysterious. And then, as with the family aspect, the Kenny Veach side of the mystery, you've got people going silent there, people suddenly suddenly going silent, like what Susan said, like now they know something, or maybe they know other people outside are getting closer, so they're reining it in somehow. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it seems to be. Now, with ghosts from the past, such as Really Robin, what triggered him to reappear? Well, was it to do with the M Cave hike route specifically? Kind of. Kenny? Not really. It was Robin's specific hike route and the constant talk and debate about it in recent time. You know, it's not something new. It's happened back in the past as well, when Jeff Clark went out there to try and search for it, trying to map it out, constant back and forth arguments and discussions between Silverheels and Jeff Clark. And, you know, you could argue at the time then, were we getting anywhere? Not really. And yet we're still keeping on track with it and talking about it. And even me making my own video in recent time, as you saw the obsession one, it attracted Robin's attention. He came out of nowhere and left the comment, "I'm back," or "I'm here to explain stuff." You know, if it is supposedly him, well, there you go. That's good, isn't it? It got his attention. So this is what I mean. There is an indirect psychological way of doing things. People can argue and say, you're not doing much, you're not solving the mystery, you're not getting anywhere. The question is to you though, okay, progression isn't really being made. Is degression, is that even a word? Are we going backwards though? No, we're not really going anywhere. Well, if that was the mindset with someone, okay, well, it's not the end of the world. But what it can do is indirectly trigger an event, a turning point, an individual, a group to step in and say something or reveal stuff for whatever reason. It could be some form of trigger, frustration, them being annoyed or just wanting to set the record straight because they're probably like, oh, this person talking about this and that, I've had enough, I'm just going to set the record straight because it's gone on too long, or it's causing too much confusion, so I'm going to come in now and say this and say that, and then there we go. So it can still help at the end of the day. It was an indirect form, wasn't expected, but it happened. So that's what I think can happen and what has happened in this case. Obviously, we need to see what happens next with Robin, as I said, because only so much has been said in the comment section. We need to see the next video. That's if there is one. So with all that in mind, feel free to leave a comment if you want, give your opinion, if you've experienced anything dodgy, whatever. You know, you got to try and keep on board all what happens, because out of the 10 dodgy people that you come across, one might have valuable information or one might be telling the truth. So you just got to try and do a balancing act at the end of the day, okay? So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.